4/554, part 1, take 1.
Edited copy.
Exactly.
Exactly, it's a scruffy little celluloid dolly.
Ah, yeah, but in better days, if I remember right, that was an angel.
That's what happens to all the angels around here, mate. They say it's a scruffy little dollies.
I hope you're not looking at anybody in particular.
Only one who's got his great size nines all over my flaming work. Charlie, shift your clog.
Well, if somebody would tell me what the devil I'm doing up here, I'd be very grateful.
Yeah, and if I could find her wings, I'd stick them back on again.
No, leave her as she is. That way she'll double as the spirit of New Year.
Oh, sound economic thinking, that.
How about that, then?
Oh, lovely. Don't you sit down, beautiful?
No wobble. OK.
You take all the fun out of life, you do. I'll miss that wobble.
Is that what you've been doing the last half hour, mending a flaming chair?
You don't think I'd do one of yours, do you? Not even if it were possible.
Can I just point something out to you? That there are 3 of us here who are dedicated to the prosperity of Fairclough and Flaming Langton.
Flaming Fairclough and Langton, if you don't mind.
I'll vote for that.
Fairclough and Flaming Langton. There's only one of us working here. She's working for Daddy Christmas and you're doing foreigners.
Who's doing foreigners?
Well, what do you call that, a contract job?
I don't think he's friends with us.
I think I prefer him like that. Anyway, I don't know what he's cracking the whip for when he's doing council work, sir.
You look after yours, mate, and I'll look after mine.
Morning!
Hello, if it isn't scrounging Charlie. What do you want this time? A baronial hall out of 30-footer 4x2?
Well, you said it, Leonard, and thank you very much. But actually, I've come to help you.
Well, I'm saying no.
Oh, but you will. You will. Just answer me one question. How would you like to glide around town in your own white Rolls-Royce coupe, live it up in your own penthouse flat, jet to the south of France every summer and have your own private yacht to name but a part of it?
Well, I dread to think what I'd have to do for that lot.
Show business. And where do they all start? Right at the bottom. And I'm in a position to offer that very start to 2 of you lucky people.
Right at the bottom.
You can't get any lower. There are still 2 vacancies in the pantomime to end all pantomimes. Baron Stonybroke.
Which is him, to a T.
No, buttons me. I'm a born comic, I am.
And Dandini. How about it, Deirdre? You would make a wonderful Dandini.
Me? Oh, Ken, I couldn't go on a stage. I've got 2 left feet.
Yeah, with legs like yours, who'll be looking at your feet?
Hey, down, Rover. Them legs is mine. They're included in cost at licence.
Just shut up, you. Anyway, I thought Dandini were a fella.
Oh, yes, he is. The prince's right-hand man.
Ah, it's no good for her, then. Her hair isn't long enough to play a fella. That's great. Be marvellous.
You shut up and all Fairclough. Go on, what do you think, Alf?
Well, I'm very pleased you asked me, love. I think you will be the ideal person. You have in your bearing a sort of standard and awareness that will be ideal for a right-hand...
move
I've told you. Thank you very much, Alf. I'm glad I asked your opinion.
Very welcome,
I'll take
love.
the part.
Madam, you will not regret it. First read-through Community Centre, 7:30 tonight. And while we're at it, do you think you could possibly persuade this husband of yours to play Baron Stonybroke?
Well, go on. Persuade me.
I don't think I could. Well, I might, but only at the risk of grievous bodily harm.
And we don't want that. Well, I'll take my once-in-a-lifetime offer elsewhere, sire.
Thanks all the same, but I think I'll get my roles the hard way.
You'll be sorry. Bye.
Bye. Hey, it could happen, you know.
What could happen, you know?
What Ken was on about. Me coming out of the Odeon in Leicester Square, dripping in mink. The crowds cheering while Steve McQueen holds the car door open for me. And you stood in the pouring rain with your coat collar turned up.
No, I've seen that picture. You decide you can't live without me.
Do I, heck? I splash you with my Rolls Royce.
Oh, careful with that wood, Hilda. You'll go right through. It's only mahogany, you know.
Oh, don't be so sarky. No, I was just thinking about her ladyship. I bet she's running them ragged at that infirmary.
Well, according to Emily, she's back to her old self.
Yeah, well, that's what I said, isn't it? I bet they wish she was in a private ward, I tell you.
Hey, I wonder if she's read them Harold Robbinses I took her. They'll bring colour back to her cheeks.
Oh, no. I'm taking her some chocolates this after. Well, I mean, everybody takes books and flowers, don't they? So I'm taking chocolates.
Well, good on you, lovey.
Oh, well, it's something I've always said, you know. Be magnanimous.
Oh, and there's not many says that, Hilda.
Oh, don't worry, I know.
Hey.
What, love?
You didn't mention anything about Mr. Coates, did you, from the brewery?
Who to?
Well, to Mrs. Walker when you took those books to the hospital.
Now, do me a favour, Betty. Do I look that daft?
Well, I didn't say anything.
I should hope you didn't, and neither did I, but I will if you like.
Oh, don't be daft.
Here's some more books, Mrs. Walker, and we do hope you're feeling better. Oh, and by the way, we've had this fella from brewery wants to get rid of you.
No, I don't think he'd say anything like that.
No, and I never will, sunshine. She didn't do so much round here, but what she did do, we're copping for.
Yeah. There are advantages, though.
Ha ha! I caught you. But you will be pleased to know that my silence can be bought very cheaply.
You would come in just then, wouldn't you? And don't ask me to take a part. I have my pride, you know. I'm not stepping in anybody's old cast-offs.
Nothing so menial as a mere performer. Come and hold my hand while I produce the darn thing.
I see. Finding it a bit hard going, are we? Well, I kept my mouth shut, but it didn't stop me thinking. He's not left himself much time, I thought. Won't be long now before he comes crawling round here with that little boy's smile on his face.
Straight through the heart.
You just think yourself lucky. I never could resist helpless fellas. By God, I've had a few of them.
Yeah, don't you think you're going to make me feel ashamed of myself because you're not, and I accept your offer?
Hey, hang on, Speedy. I want to know where I'm laying myself in for. Now, is it all systems go?
Well, pretty well. It's pretty well cast, except for Baron and Baroness Stonybroke. Now, they're going to be a bit of a problem. I don't know where we're going to get those.
Mavis? Mavis?
Yes. Oh, hello, Ken. I didn't know you were in.
He's only come specially to see you.
Yes, I was wondering if you could help us out over the pantomime. Baroness Stonybroke. It's not a big part, but it's a very important one. Cinderella's mother. Not that the age. I mean, I realise that you couldn't...
You could do wonders with makeup.
You can.
Oh,
you can.
Oh, well, it's very nice to be asked.
Good. Well, we'll see you tonight, then.
But I couldn't really. I don't mind backstage work, but, well, I'm not one for the limelight. It sort of shrivels me up.
Oh. Oh, well, if you should change your mind. Well, I'll see you tonight at 7:30, then.
Yes. Right. You know, you beat cockfighting, you do. Yesterday you'd a face as long as a fiddle 'cause nobody'd ask you. And when they do, what do they get? Oh, I couldn't. It sort of shrivels me up. You know, it's supposed to be my sort that drives strong men mad. By gum, you leave us standing.
Have you quite finished? Because it's not as if he's offering me anything important.
Who says it wasn't important?
He did. Oh, nothing so menial as a mere performer.
I thought you didn't know you were in. You've been earwigging again, haven't you? By gum, you're a devious one, you are.
Oh, why not? Everybody else is.
Yes, Hilda.
Well, I want a box of chocolates.
Yeah.
Not too expensive, but at the same time, I want something nice, you know. I don't know whether you knock anything off for your old stock. Not too old, mind. I don't want a mouldy.
Mavis?
Yes.
See to Mrs. Ogden, will you? She doesn't know what she wants. You should get on well together. What do you reckon?
Well, I reckon it needs sticking in about a foot.
Well, that's what I reckon. I mean, I've not tried it on yet, but, well, looking at it's enough.
Oh, I must have been mad to take this job on.
What about us, standing up there making fools of ourselves?
Comes natural to some people.
Are you taking these costumes in, or aren't you?
Ah, go on, get your coat off then, and I'll measure you up.
Oh, hello, Blanche. Oh, I'm glad I found you in, lovey. Only I've just brought me I've just brought these things in because you said you were going to take them in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I'd better put a measure round
Right,
you.
oh, love.
Hey, do you mind? I were here first.
Don't be so cheeky, dear fairy godmother. Just wave my wand over one of your sister's heads.
Hey, are they kidding me, or are you really playing fairy godmother?
Why should they be kidding?
Well, you're not exactly,
Listen, I've told you, watch what you're saying. You're taking long enough about it, aren't you?
That's because you can't believe it.
You know, I don't know what they teach them in school these days, but it's certainly not manners.
Ah, gum, it's not. Is it all right, love?
Yes, leave them with me.
Right, Tom. Just you wait until I've got my wand in my hand. You'll wonder what's hit you.
Hey!
What?
I hope they're not having you flying. I mean, we don't want the roof coming in, do we?
Oh, dear. Bye-bye, love.
She's right. You're too cheeky for your own good. There is such a thing as respect, you know.
Oh, I know. I just don't find many people who deserve it.
Hey, few more visits to that chip shop and you're going to have folk making fun of you.
I can take weight off when I like.
Well, according to what this tape measure says, you'd better like.
How's the happy couple upstairs?
Happy?
Together or separately?
Meaning?
Oh, nothing. It's just that, Ray gets about a bit on that job of his. And he's always seemed to be enjoying himself whenever I've seen him.
Oh, yes. Where's this, then?
No need to stop you measuring.
Well, no peace for the wicked.
And by heck, you're wicked.
We're off.
Why?
He's only asking. He's a friend of ours.
I know he's only asking. I'm going to Gas Street.
Oh, not that flipping Pomeroy job again.
Look, if we get that extension job, it'll be a nice few quid in our pocket, but we're not sure of it yet. Charlie Russell from Hamilton's was sniffing round there last Friday.
Yeah, all right. Before you go, love, will you get the drinks in?
He can get the drinks in. He's a friend of ours.
What do you want?
Careful of what, for heaven's sake?
You know very well.
Look, Emily, all I know is that I've been asked by a reputable tradeswoman of this parish to take some photographs of her daughter. A job which I'm eminently capable of performing, and for which we both desperately need the money.
Not that desperately. It's a well-known fact that Mrs. Hobbs is fanatical about getting her Julietta onto the stage. She's quite capable of going to any lengths.
Yes, what lengths had you in mind?
Well, I wouldn't be at all surprised if some of the poses weren't scantily dressed, to say the least.
Emily, my love, scantily dressed, undressed, dressed from head to foot makes no difference. When I am taking photographs, I cease to be my normal, passionate male self. I'm an artist.
Oh, well, having read the lives of the artists at some length, I'd rather you were your normal, passionate male
All right,
self.
I will be my normal, passionate male self. Now, am I leaving you here, or are you going to walk back to the shop with me? Oh, or are you waiting for Ken Barlow?
There's no call for sarcasm, Ernest. I happen to know that Ken is finding the burden of work and producership rather a heavy one.
And if he gives up the producership, he'll offer the job to you.
Is there any reason why he should...
None at all, none at all. Now, what are you doing?
I'll walk back to the shop with you.
Hey, you haven't seen that husband of mine, have you?
Not this morning, Hilda, and let's face it, he's not somebody you're likely to miss.
Ah, the heck, ask for one word out of you and you get 100. Look, if he does happen to drop in, will you tell him to get himself some dinner, if it's not too much trouble?
No trouble at all, lovey.
Tell him I've gone to the hospital to take Mrs. Walker some chocolates, which she'll appreciate after all the books and flowers she's had.
She will, Hilda, she will.
So she should and all when you think what they flaming cost.
Oh, excuse me, Hilda. Ah, Uncle Albert, the very, very man. And what do I have here? But a programme of the street pantomime of, wait for it, 1964. And what do I see? Cinderella, Lucille Hewitt. Prince Charming, Elsie Tanner. Ugly Sisters, Charlie Moffat and Irma Ogden. And Baron Stonybroke.
Now, don't tell me you've only just found that out.
Well, in view of the indisputable fact that the years have dealt very kindly with you, I was wondering if you would care to recreate the role this year and play Baron Stonybroke again.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, well, all right then.
Well, may I say it's a pleasure to do business with you.
Well, if you're so chuffed, perhaps you can buy me a rum.
Right.
Thank you very much, Len. Leave it there.
That's all right, love. And welcome back, honey. Can I say how good it is to see you back, because these two have made our lives a misery.
I believe you. Well, how things, ladies?
Well, never mind about us. What about you? What are you doing out of bed?
Now, don't you start. I've had enough with the National Health Service.
Have you discharged yourself?
Let us say that I have relinquished my bed to a more deserving patient. I am a little weak, but after all, I do have business responsibilities. And I hear someone's been round from the brewery.
Yeah.
Well, I mustn't grumble, must I? Nice of them to be concerned. Oh, I would love a cup of tea.
Coronation Street, P694, stroke 554, part 2, take 1.
Now, that really is a cup of tea. I'm not complaining about the hospital food, because it was quite good in its way, but they could not make a cup of tea. It was like washing up water.
Ah, well, you're home now.
Yes.
You heard about the fella coming from the brewery?
Yes, Emily told me.
Yeah.
I say I was surprised that nobody else saw fit to mention it.
No, well, he found out about those two chaps that broke in. Not from us,
no.
Mrs. Walker. I mean, we'd have bitten our tongues out rather than say anything, but... Well, he found out. And he didn't know that Billy had gone, and that you were here on your own. So, I mean, he seemed to think that you'd be far better off with somewhere quieter. Well, I mean, you never know, do you? You might get that little pub in Cheshire that you've always wanted.
I see. So you're all deciding what I want, have you? Or is it what you want? Oh, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. That was ungenerous. At least you had the good grace to come and see me, which is more than could be said for one member of the staff.
But when I got there, she were gone.
Well, break her leg. Get her back in hospital. You're getting no money back off me.
Ooh, you're a right one, you are. Look, I come to you in the first place, don't I? And when I go on me errand of mercy and find Annie Walker's been let out, you won't even take back half a pound of scruffy chocolates. Ooh, you've not got a scrap of consideration in your whole body. You wouldn't lift a finger to help your own mother, you. I'll bet any other shop round here would give me the money back on them.
Right. Try it. Take 'em back to Marks and Spencer's. Tell 'em they were too small for your big gob. Ooh.
Well, that looked like a happy customer.
Ooh, I'll swing for her one of these days, I will.
Oh, it'll be a waste of a good life, love. And I mean yours.
Oh, I'm sorry, love. What can I get you?
Oh, nothing really. I were just passing and I wondered if you'd like to come round for your tea when you've finished. Just for a natter light, you know.
Oh, not tonight, love. I've got 101 things to do up there. Hey, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I just felt like a natter, like I said.
Well, some other time, eh?
Yeah.
Just showing my face tonight, ladies, so don't rely on me for too much help. Still feeling rather tired.
Well, it's only natural. You get your feet up and... I mean, we can manage, can't we, lovey?
Aye, of course we can. Another night'll make no difference.
Oh, hello. It's Mr. Coates from the brewery.
Mr. Coates, how nice of you to call.
Mrs. Walker, how are you? I rang the hospital and they told me you'd left. I hope I'm not disturbing you, but there are one or two little matters to be discussed.
Of course. Would you like to come through?
If you're sure you feel up to talking business.
Yes, indeed. The body is still a little weak, but the brain is functioning quite normally.
Oh, one more small thing, Mrs. Walker. As what I have to say concerns all the staff in one way or another, I wonder if they might...
Yes, of course. Ladies.
Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Walker.
Thank you, love. Do sit down, Mr. Coates.
Oh, thank you.
Can I get you a drink?
No, thanks. I never drink until the sun drops below the yardarm.
A nautical type. Oh. My nephew used to use that expression. I think he picked it up in the Sea Scouts. Oh. Were you,
No. Just a silly phrase.
I see. Well, the floor is yours, Mr. Coates.
Well, Mrs. Walker, we've been naughty, haven't we?
Have we?
We have indeed. You're living here alone, aren't you?
Yes.
And you didn't tell us your son had left.
Oh, I'm sure I mentioned it to someone in the brewery.
Well, if you did, it certainly didn't come up the line to me.
Oh, dear.
And what's this I hear about two young tearaways terrorizing you in the middle of the night?
Something and nothing.
Something and nothing, Mrs. Walker. It led to a severe case of shock, did it not? Which in turn led to that stay in hospital and your fall downstairs. Hardly something and nothing.
You're remarkably well informed.
Well, we do have our methods.
I'm sure you have.
Tell me, Mrs. Walker, what do you think of this?
Oh,
hey, Lou.
how
Isn't
pleasant.
it pretty? It's nice.
Oh, it's lovely. Do I know it?
You may well. It's about 3 miles out of Macclesfield, nesting in a little pocket in the Cheshire Hills, and blessed with a totally devoted staff, and from the 1st of next month, yours.
Mine?
Yours.
What a delightful thought.
Well, we like to think we specialise in them.
I'm sure you do.
We're cutting down on the preliminaries. You may well know the present tenor, Mr. Turner.
Mr. George Turner? Oh, yes, I know him well. He's all right, is he?
Would you believe he's retiring?
Never.
Oh, yes. At the end of this month, he's going to live with his daughter just outside Leicester. Where it's a simple transfer. No question of prizing him out of the place. Now you'll understand why I wanted Mrs. Turpin and Miss Lynch present. It's going to be a brand new year for all of you, and I want them to become accustomed to the idea of someone new. We'll be putting in a manager temporarily.
I don't want to seem ungracious, but there is one little formality you seem to have forgotten. You haven't asked me if I want to go.
I trust it is a formality, Mrs. Walker.
On your side, maybe, yes.
You mean you don't?
I mean I don't.
I think under the circumstances, ladies, it would be best if...
No. Please let them stay. I like to look on them as my friends.
If you're sure.
Oh, yes, quite sure.
I don't quite know how to say this without making it sound dictatorial.
I'm sure you'll manage.
I hope so. I mean, it's the last thing I want to be. However, since I took over as tenants executive, I have instituted a new policy. One of its main ingredients is a certain amount, not too much, but a certain amount of discipline. Are you sure you...
Oh, yes, quite sure.
A survey of the company's houses shows that not all the incumbents are ideal for their particular environments, for various reasons. We're none of us as young as we were, Mrs. Walker, and an area like this requires a more physical presence than, say, this. You do understand.
How could I fail to? You're putting it so well.
But not well enough, perhaps. Mrs. Walker, would you believe that some people genuinely don't know what's best for them?
Of course I would. I know some of them. Now, if you'll excuse me for a moment.
She seems to be taking it quite well.
Very well.
It's just what we'd expect from Mrs. Walker.
Ringing her son, perhaps, just to be absolutely sure it's the wisest step.
Could be.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, not that, Mr. Cresswell, dear. Mr. Douglas Cresswell, your managing director. Yes, I see. Oh. Well, I wonder if I might dare ask you to interrupt him. I think he'll speak to me. Mrs. Walker, Mrs. Ann Walker. Douglas, how nice to hear your voice. Yes, well, I was wondering why I didn't get a get-well card from you, but of course, if you only heard this morning. Oh, yes, I shall be perfectly all right, thank you, dear, with a couple of days' rest. Douglas, I didn't ring up for sympathy. I have a young man from the brewery here, a Mr. Coates. Quite pleasant, but, well, just a trifle confused.
There really is no cause for worry.
Pardon?
I say there's no cause for worry about your positions here. We don't number many tyrants amongst our managers.
Oh, well, that is nice to hear, isn't it, Betty?
Yes, I take it very
I'm sure you'll settle down under your new boss just as well as you did under Mrs. Walker. And if you're concerned about her, as I'm sure you must be, I'm certain she'll settle down too. It's just a question of, and I say this in confidence, of course, of Mrs. Walker accepting that changes are inevitable. Not only inevitable, but in her own interest. Although she may not be aware of it.
No.
Mr. Coates.
Mrs. Walker.
Do you know Mr. Cresswell?
Mr. Cresswell.
Mr. Douglas Cresswell, our managing director.
Oh, Mr. Cresswell. Well, I have met him briefly, but I don't normally deal with him.
Don't you? I deal with nobody else. He'd like a word with you.
Mr. Cresswell.
Mm-hmm. Just to hear the telephone in the hall.
If you'll excuse me.
Yes, love.
Certainly.
What a sweet boy.
Yes, well, shouldn't we be ordering up?
No, love, don't interrupt him. It won't take long. Now, I think we ought to have a little glass of sherry to celebrate my homecoming. Oh, Mr. Coates, will you join us?
No, I don't think so. I didn't realize you knew Mr. Cresswell quite so well.
Oh, yes, we're very old friends. Did he,
Yes, he said the matter was to be reconsidered.
Yes. Well, in that case, you'll be needing this, won't you? For whoever's lucky enough to get the tenancy.
I do have some more.
Oh, right. I'll keep it as a memento of our meeting.
Well, if you will excuse me.
It's been such a pleasure meeting you. Elizabeth,
yes?
Would you show Mr. Coates out, dear?
Yes.
And perhaps you'd open up while you're there.
I will, yes.
Mustn't get slack, must we? You know what Mr. Coates said about discipline.
Good, I love it. Here's to you, Mrs. Walker. Tell me something. If you can handle them that well, how come you're not running brewery instead of sitting here in a little scruffy backstreet pub?
I often wonder, dear. I really do.